Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here. So just got a quick video for you to hopefully improve your Monday or Tuesday or whenever I release this video. So the thought came to me, just like most thoughts come to me out of nowhere, that I wonder where I rank in terms of wealth, in terms of the entirety of the human race. So I went on the internet, of course, and I tried to figure it out, and I stumbled on this website called Global RICHEST. Now you can enter in your information in here. It's very simple. It seems fairly accurate to me based on what I know. So, you always hear about the people complaining about the 1%. When the reality is, the actual people who own most of the wealth in the world, it's like 0.0001% of the people who actually control, all the means of production and actually have real power and wealth. So to be in the 1%, actually, it's not that hard. Let's just see in terms of, if we're comparing ourselves to the rest of the globe, this isn't comparing yourself to the rest of the United States. So we're comparing ourselves to the rest of the world now. So if you think that your life sucks, if you think that, your job sucks, or, you're sad because you can't get the girl, or whatever the case is, I really think you should put in your income on this website so you can get a little perspective about how bad your life really is, actually how good your life really is. Because remember, while you have the luxury of complaining about that sort of thing, there's people around the world who don't have their basic needs met, and there's lots of them. So just be happy that you won the lottery to be born in a country where you have public services, emergency services, access to education up to a certain point. I know you could question the quality of that education. You have a high standard of living. You have a democratic government for the most part, even though it's mostly a corporatocracy, banker-driven, yada, yada, yada. But generally speaking, it's overall quite civilized. And if you do the right thing, you can definitely work your way up and get ahead. So let's just use the Canadian dollar here. Actually, I'm going to go use the US dollar because most of my viewers are in the US. You can translate this into Canadian dollars by just adding 30%. So let's go $10,000 USD. If you make $10,000 a year USD, which I'm assuming is like social assistance basically, or welfare, you're still in 16%, the top 16% of the population. So, if you're talking about social assistance, plus food stamps, plus public services, plus, all of the other stuff that you get for free, education, things of that nature, let's bump this up to 25,000, because that's realistically what that number is going to be. It's going to be much higher in Canada, where you actually get free healthcare services. That includes mental health services, a variety of different community programs which are available to you. So 25,000 USD puts you in the top 2% of the world. Now, that really is just people who are on social assistance. Now, if you have a minimum wage job, of course, you're probably making the same amount. You still get, your kids still get to go to school for free up to a certain point. You still have lots of things paid for by other taxpayers, like roads, things like waterworks, all of that kind of stuff, the electrical grid, things of that nature. So let's just bump this up to 40,000. Let's see where you rank if you make $40,000 a year USD in terms of the global population, 0.57%. So you're in the top 1%. So in order to be in the top 1%, I think it's around 30,000. Let's just see here. Probably a little less than that. No, a little bit more than that. So let's go 32,000. Almost hit it on the head. Let's go 32,400. There we go. So $32,400 USD. You are in the top 1%. That means you are ahead of bazillions of people. You are 59 millionth of 7.5 billion people. Let's just pull up the human population clock here. See where we rank. So we're at 7.6 billion, 7.645 billion people. That's incredible. I mean, that sucker is just climbing and a climbing. So that should give you a sense of where you are in line. So if you're having a bad day, you don't like your boss, just remember this could be the case. Now, I know that this doesn't take into account the cost of living, all of the different psychological struggles that we all face in what I call the asphalt matrix, and how, you know, it's death by 1,000 paper cuts. I've talked about that in a video that I'm going to post a link to through this one. I talked about it at length. It was a little too heavy for a lot of people, I think, but some people got it. But yeah, so I get that, but generally speaking, with that higher cost of living comes a higher standard of living, higher standard of healthcare. You know, your food is more regulated. I know we can get into a debate about how good that is in the end. You know, we're talking about like the pasteurized versus non-pasteurized milk, or whatever example you want to give. Generally speaking, things are going to be safer in your society. So just think about that the next time you're upset that something didn't go your way, that you had a set of expectations that weren't met by the world, or you're getting frustrated and irritable. Maybe you got a parking ticket, whatever the case might be. You know, remember that your battles could be much more intense and have much more dire consequences than the ones you have now. So anyway, let's just play around with this for a sec here. So $100,000 USD. If you make 6 figures in the US, you are in 0.08%. That's like a 1/10 of 1% of the population. So you're 5 millionth in the world. There's a lot of people who I know who make 6 figures. So you're doing pretty good for yourself. In order to be, let's see here. Let's go 250,000. That's Joe Sixpack, right? From the old elections. So it's starting to go up a little bit slower now, but still half of what you were before. So 0.04%. That's incredible. Now, if you make $1 million a year, which is pretty rare, but I think there's something like 10 million millionaires now, you are laughing. You are in definitely the top 1 millionth of people. So yeah, I mean, it just goes to show though that we have it really good in this society. So if you're interested and if you're open enough to doing this, feel free to put your rank in the comment section. And just remember that rank, you know, when you're having a bad day or when you're going through tough times, just remember that things could be a lot worse. I'm not saying that you should just settle for your rank. You should always try to keep moving towards the front of the line, because what else is there to do, really, right? I mean, yeah, you could live in a balance and sing Kumbaya and all the rest, and if you want to do that, hey, more the power to you. I think that that's also a very valid life choice to make if you are comfortable downgrading and going back further in the line and giving somebody your spot. If that's what you want to do, fine. I'm just saying, if you're not happy where you are in the line, there's ways to move up in the line, but don't get all frustrated and act like it's the end of the world, because remember, there's a lot of people who are just dying to be in your spot in the lineup. Remember that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Canadian Prepper out. The best way to support this YouTube channel is to support yourself by gearing up through CanadianPreparedness.com or BugoutRoll.ca. Premium quality gear at the best possible price using the incredibly secure and easy to use Shopify platform. We offer free shipping to the United States for orders over $200 USD and free shipping to Canada over $75. So support the channel by supporting yourself.